am quite well on this being our 38th
38th episode.
episode. Stacey, do you remember when you had first come to me with this brilliant concept? And I was like, we'll be lucky if we get 5. And you're like, no, I think we have a bunch in the bank. I think we can at least do 20. And I'm like,
Yes.
no, here we are.
Oh.
38.
Is
3 and
this
8
my
is 11.
is this my I told you so moment?
This is your wow. I told you so. You always see in the movies. Listen, I don't want to be that guy that says I told you so.
I told you so.
But here's your I told you so moment. You were right, Stacey. And once again, for the 12 millionth time in my life, my marriage, my professional life, I was wrong. You were right. Okay. That's it. That's it.
Smart man.
So I try. Listen, you see the shirt I'm wearing here?
Yes. What does this say?
Scranton, Pennsylvania. This is my hometown, Scranton. And I don't always talk about Scranton, but I do miss my hometown. As a matter of fact, I miss my hometown so much. I'm going in a few days. I think I have a tour coming up Tuesday. I can't remember. I think it's Tuesday. As you all know, we record this a few days out, a few weeks out. Actually, you're going to be seeing this, I think, in 2 weeks. I think in 2 weeks. We're taking next week off, which will have already passed. So we're going to try to screw you up because here we are. But anyways, I bring up Scranton because I really miss my hometown. I do this thing whenever I go in. You guys remember that scene? So obviously, Stacey, I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to the audience. Yeah. You remember that scene when Rocky's driving the Lamborghini to No Easy Way Out?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I do. So it'll be like 8:00 at night, and I'll tell my mom and dad, I think I'm going to go for a little Rocky ride. And I'll get in my soccer mom van that I do my tours in, and instead of stick shifting, I just put Robert Tepper, No Easy Way Out, and I drive through the desolate streets of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I just think where I was, where I came from, how it's changed. And, not all things change for the better. Scranton's going through, it's going through what it's going through. A lot of towns are going through that. But I'm very excited about going home. So I just thought I would put this shirt on that Santa brought me for Christmas. So thanks, Mom.
Do you do the over-the-shoulder gaze?
I reenact everything. Baby, we could break this. He might says. And then I pretend like I'm doing the motion with my arm to do the stick shift,
Yes.
I used to have a Dodge Daytona, 1988 Dodge Daytona. And this is a really cool car. The first car was my parents co-signed. It was the first car I was able to buy on my own because everything I had before that was just a rust box. So, and it had the pop-up headlights like the Lamborghini did. And they just pop up, and then it's Southpaw, and then you see the 86 on the logo. Okay, so I would just drive through the streets, and then one day I got into an accident on that, and then the insurance went from whatever it was to like $4,000 a year. I couldn't afford it, and my father ended up driving my little play Lamborghini, and I ended up driving my mother's 1984 hatchback Chevy Citation. It had more rust around the bottom of it. It was this cream 4-door colored thing. It was horrible. Thank God Sue was with me already because no girl wanted to be caught dead with a 4-door hatchback. I mean, it was so bad the radio wouldn't work. So I had one of the old boom boxes in the back seat with 10 D batteries. Do you know how much 1D battery weighs? This radio weighed like 100 pounds. And I would have Springsteen on cassette. Yeah, on the Take Me Down to Funky Town, right? And so it would be in the back seat, and I would play Bruce Springsteen. I would pull up to Sue's house, her mother's house. This is like 1989, and I'd be like, cool as shit. I cursed. Block that out. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. And so I would be blasting Springsteen, and her father and her mother would be looking at the door and go, "Oh my God, Sue, what did you do? What did you drag home now?" So anyways, I have no idea why I went on that tangent. I'm really sorry. Stacey, what's happening?
Oh my God. Very quick story. I have my own horrifying car story in college. the ceiling of the cars, it's that kind of felty fabric. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
My car was so old it started peeling away. Okay. So my roommate and I, we would drive back and forth from nursing school, and I'd be driving like this, and we'd be holding up the felt that was coming down. Like it was so
It's like it
so
needed a bra. It was like
yes.
sagging. It needed a
It was
bra to.
it came down like this, and we would drive holding it so we could see.
So you would be like jamming out to your favorite music driving. Dun, 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 dun. That's great.
That is a true story. I'm gonna have to make sure my friend Amy
How
sees
how
this
old were you at
episode.
that point?
Oh, so this is 19, 20 years old. So
Oh,
this is
okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So this is
Yeah.
what 93-ish. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So that is
Oh,
one of my
Jesus,
favorite. Oh, I forgot
that's
my
great.
episode 38 banner.
Oh, this is episode 38. And by the way, Stacy, I had before we announced where we're broadcasting at,
Yeah.
I had a very
Oh.
interesting week.
Mhm.
I'm not going to talk about it. I was going to talk about it. I told my very good friend I was going to talk about it today. And at the very last minute, I had to pull back. I
Yeah.
had something completely different planned that I was going to open up with. I was going down a whole different route. And I think I'm still going to go down that route. I'm just not as prepared.
Mhm. Mhm.
What do I want to say right here? Literally 10 minutes. I had asked my friend for some information, and
Mhm.
the information literally came right before we were about to start to record this podcast.
Mhm.
And he's very busy. He's
Yes.
he's an actor. He
Mhm.
is a director. He's a
Mhm.
producer, and he's
Nice.
currently involved in a movie in Oklahoma right now. So I'm not going to give away any names. I'm not going to mention who my friend is.
Right. No
But
name dropping.
I'm not going to name drop. I'm not going to brag. I'm not
You're
a
not
type
like
of a
that.
bragger. I'm not like that. I'm not going to drop names. But I did receive a message from
Yeah.
said friend, and I didn't have enough time to put together.
Mhm.
Yet I told said friend,
Mhm.
this is what we're talking about this week.
Right.
And I didn't have all my ducks in a row. So said friend, if you're watching
Yeah.
right now,
Yes.
I'm not done. I'm going to get there.
Yes.
I want to do it correctly. Okay.
Right. And
All
he
right.
alluded to more details, so you want to,
He did. He
yeah.
did allude to more details.
So you're just waiting for the whole story there.
I'm
Yeah.
going to wait for the whole story. I want to have all my ducks in a row.
Yeah.
And I also want to just say thank you, John Rivoli. That's all. He
Yeah.
knows what John
He knows
Rivoli,
what that means.
He knows what that means. Don't worry about it, people. By the way, John Rivoli art, you can go check it out on the
Yes.
Slice Stallone shop. The John Rivoli collection on T-shirts. Check it out, people. Don't be
Yes.
stupid.
Yes.
Go buy his art.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? That's going to be my first shipment to my new
Right?
house in Tennessee. I am going to buy that T-shirt and have it delivered to my new address.
You're going to wear it with pride and class and dignity. I know
Yes.
it. I expect sales to jump 200% on the Stallone shop just from you wearing it alone.
Yes,
I love it.
Anyway.
Stacey, where are we at this week? I mean, there were other things that went on this week. I'm not going to talk about it. Some other that has nothing to do in the Rocky world. It's been a real week from hell on my end.
Yeah.
Your end, boy, you've been dealing with this move.
Yeah, let me tell you, we are coming to you from hell, Michigan, because I am in the middle of hell.
Christ, is it hot? Jesus.
This is a real place. Can you imagine living there? What a horrible place
Michigan.
to live.
Wow.
Oh, no salvation there. But anyway, it's funny when you're just moving like within state or from one town to the next, you're like, oh, who cares how much crap I have, but then when you're moving as far as I'm moving and it costs so much to move, the prices to move are like,
was it expensive?
Can I tell you, I should have just added it to the mortgage. Like, I was like, what? I'm like, no, that's wrong. And then I kept calling and I'm like, no, that's the ballpark. So we tried to get the best, but yeah, I would say to anybody, wait, if you're doing a long distance move, wait a year, see if it becomes more normal, but wow, so expensive. And so we are trying to weed out, like, do I really want to pay for that to go 1,200 miles?
Yeah.
It's been tough. It's really, I just can't get over how much crap I have and how much crap my parents have. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You know, Stacey, that reminds me, and I couldn't feel more sympathetic for you. Trust me, I get it. When we moved, there was I don't know if I talked. I'm not going to get into it. The only thing I will say is that right before we were talking, Stacey and I had a little conversation about this move and so on, and it blew my mind about everything that was involved with it. And I just want to give a shout out to my father, who's probably sleeping right now in his recliner. Mom, poke him. Just poke the bear. Will you wake him up for a minute?
Right.
When we moved, Sue had just gotten diagnosed with the brain aneurysm, and she couldn't do anything. She was actually in the hospital while my 75-year-old father was moving in late November. It was just me and him. None of my brother-in-laws, nobody. My brother couldn't get off work. Nobody could come down. It was just me and my father.
Yeah.
My father's helping me carry like these dressers that weigh hundreds of pounds, right? And I go, Dad, you having a heart attack? He goes, no, it's just my asthma.
Yeah.
When did you get asthma?
Right.
I just started the other day. He took a puff of the inhaler, and then he was like Popeye. It was crazy. He was just running up and down the ramp of the truck. So, anyways, Dad, thank you, Stacey. I get it. I know. Yeah. It's not easy.
Yeah. It's just taking up it's just eating up my entire life. So I just feel bad because I literally I'm not going to have anything else to talk about for another 2 or 3 weeks until I'm normal again. But whatever.
We can milk this.
Yeah.
We're on a stool in front of the udders right now milking this. Oh, hell yeah. Hey, speaking of which, we got a great interview today. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes. So because I had to kind of change course literally moments before we started recording this podcast, I thought I'd talk about something else because I wasn't prepared. So unfortunately, this week, there was a murder in my house. That's right, people. Yeah, we had someone pass away here in the basement. I have this shelving unit. You see the shelving unit, everybody? The black poles and the shelves right up on top. Okay. Anyways. Last night, 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
It was about 3:00 in the morning, and I came out for a glass of water, and I heard this crash, bang, boom. And I went back to bed because I didn't care. I was tired.
Oh, no.
And when I came down in the morning, do you guys remember? Yo, that's brisk, baby. Right?
No.
Well, Rocky fell off the shelf, and he is now in 2 pieces.
Oh. Poor guy.
Okay.
That's an official knockout right there.
He was knocked out. I don't know what happened.
Oh, poor guy. I love that commercial. Always makes me
I love it. To this day,
funny.
I love it. It's one of my favorites. Some of the other things I've collected, I have so much. You all know I have a lot of things in storage, and so one of the other things I thought was kind of interesting was these
are cool.
The Adidas 1985 boxing boots. So when Rocky is washing the Lamborghini, Rocky is wearing these boots with the Italian Power Ranger suit with the Italian flag on it, right? And so he's got these very same boots. Not these are mine that I bought at a place up in Scranton called Battaglia Sports.
Okay.
I don't even think they're around anymore. But Battaglia sold these boots, and I can still remember the day. I was in the 1984 hatchback, Chevy Citation hatchback, and I remember driving around from sporting goods store to sporting goods store in Scranton trying to find them. Now, why was I driving around from store to store, Stacey? Because there was no internet. There was no cell phone that I could just say, where is this stuff? Today, these people have it so easy.
Right.
You literally had to go all around the city. It was an all-day affair.
Right.
Anyways, in my own backyard, I found those. So
That's
I've had
cool.
those. I've worn them. I've cleaned cars. I've reenacted that scene. I love them. So I'll probably never sell them. But if I ever do sell them, believe me, I'm getting the highest price possible.
Yeah.
Sure. Here's something I want to talk about. This may may not be hard to see. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. And my mother, she she really has, I've said this before, I'll say it again. She has the emotional shoulders of a NFL linebacker. That's how my mother's tough. She's tough as it comes. She bought me this rock years ago, and it's going to be hard to see, but it says nothing is written in stone.
Nice.
Okay. And I keep it right over here on a little setup. And I know it's a little bit of Terminator mythology. That's what I think they say at some point. I think Terminator 2. And so I love this because when you do think about your own future, nothing is written in stone. You have the power to change it. I'm living proof. I did it, and millions of other people have done it. So always believe in that. Stacey, has our guest gotten here yet?
He is here, but
all right.
he just took a break, and I'm just waiting for him to return, but he's here.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll keep going. Okay. In 2006, Rocky Balboa comes back in a big way. It owns the movie theater. It owns the planet yet again. And there was a whole thing in Philadelphia, as you can imagine. Now, I had won the national lookalike contest, and the very next day was the unveiling of the statue at the foot of the Rocky Steps. That night, at the Rocky Steps was a huge outdoor movie theater, and thousands of people could come for free, sit on the Rocky Steps, and watch Rocky on the big screen. And all around us, there were cases upon cases upon cases of Sly's glacial water.
Cool.
Sly water, okay? From a glacier in somewhere, Alaska, Montana. I don't know where it was from. It was very, very good. I have a full bottle in storage, and I stole several of the boxes as I ran to the car that night. Sue's like, what the hell are you doing? This is crazy. I said, no, I've gotta have it. Someday I'm going to do a podcast, honey, and I'm going to talk about it. So anyways, I have 4 or 5 of these bottles left, and there's a picture of the glacier on the back. I don't know. You can't really, I don't know if can you see the glacier a little bit in the background?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yes,
yeah. And then on the side, it has Sly's signature.
I love that. Yeah. Look, I know Sue's probably going to kill me. I'd have done the same thing. I'd have gotten like 4 or 5 of them. So I understand wanting to have something like that. It's kind of cool.
Stacey, here's something that's kind of interesting. So the first time Rocky was on television in 1979, I didn't have, we couldn't afford a VCR. They were like $600-$700 at the time. But it was on again about a year later, and schoolyard bullies and my insecurities and everything were acting up. So my father suggested that he bought a used VCR from Scott Television in Dunmore, Pennsylvania. It's a town over from Scranton. And we recorded it on a normal VHS tape. Now, back then, Stacey, you'll remember this.
Yeah.
You couldn't go to Kmart or Sears. You could not buy a VHS cassette of Rocky, an official. You couldn't do it. And when they first came out, they were like $100. I remember Rhinestone in 1984 came out on VHS. It was $100 to own. $100, people.
Really?
$100. A VHS cassette when they in the infancy, when it was coming on. They said, hey, we can make money. $100.
I don't remember that. Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So at some point early on, my mom and dad bought me the original Rocky on VHS.
Wow. That's epic.
Here it is, right? VHS.
Look at that. So that's from, what year is that from? Oh my God.
So this would have been purchased 81, 82-ish. I could be off on that. It's been a long time, but let's go with early 80s. Yeah. Very early 80s. I wore this out so much. This will not play in a VCR today because I watched this so much. It's
gonna get eaten up.
Yeah. Right. I did. I watched it so much, and it had such a profound effect on me. Yeah. Anyways, I got 2 more things I want to talk about. We still good for time? Is Ron with us yet?
He's watching us.
Is he watching? Can Ron hear us?
Yeah, he can see us. Yeah,
he can see us and he can hear us.
He can. He's
okay. All right. Ron, hang on. 2 more minutes, buddy. All right. late 90s. This would have been 1998,
Yeah.
97 and 99, somewhere in there.
Mhm.
Sue and I are very big on going to flea markets. You ever go to a flea
Yeah.
market, Stacy?
I love flea markets.
We
Yes,
love flea
yes.
markets. We love them. All right.
Y
We buy the dumbest, ugliest things there and
Right.
we put it around the house and we know they're dumb and ugly and we wait for people to comment and say, "Oh, that's beautiful." And we know they're full of crap because we put it out there for people to say dumb things about. Anyways,
Right.
Sue and her dad found this.
Oh my god.
It
That's
is a
so cute.
vintage Rocky action figure. And he has his own gym bag. I don't know where the gym bag is. It's probably on the shelf somewhere. Anyways,
That's cute.
okay, his little boxing gloves. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I love this. She gave this to me. There's actually pictures somewhere of Sue
Mhm.
giving this to me. I love this. It's very
Aw.
rare. I haven't seen one in a while. I have seen them on eBay from time to time. What's that? I gotta move along. Okay, I gotta move along. Stacy, the last thing I want to talk about is a picture. Would you put a picture up
Oh,
that I
yes.
sent you?
Yes, yes, yes. Hang on 2 seconds. Here it is. Ready? There it is.
All right. Now I want everybody to take a look at this. The top part of the picture is a friend of mine, James from Australia. Him and his wife took the tour. God, it seems like 100 years ago. One of the things he wanted to do was find the exact spot Rocky sat with Butkus in Rocky 2. Now, we never saw this scene in Rocky 2 because it was deleted. This deleted scene was part of the script that you and I talked about last week, I think, or the week before,
Yep.
where Rocky walks around. He has all these great conversations with Butkus. Butkus really listens to what Rocky is saying.
Right, right.
Now, here, Rocky is conferring with his beautiful canine. And I want you to see, you see the step level Rocky is sitting on.
Yes.
Then you go to Butkus's paws.
Yes.
And then take a look at the front of that step. You will
Yes.
see the crack.
Yes.
It's a swooshing swerve. It's like
Yes.
it's like a Nike swoosh on steroids.
I
all right?
gotcha. Yes.
Take a look at where I'm sitting in the red blazer. Take a look at my feet.
Yep.
And look right next to my feet.
The
It is
same
the same
spot.
It is. It is the same spot. Now, for anyone who thinks that it's easy to find, now there's only 72 steps. So,
Oh,
only
right,
72
right.
steps. But these 72 steps are like 50 feet wide,
Right.
and there's hundreds of people running all over these steps. Before James, this is the care I take on my tours. Now, I don't do this with everyone because not everyone wants to see it or needs to see it.
Right.
But James said, I really want to see where that crack is. I said, you got it. I find it. Boom. Now, what he didn't know is that I spent 3 days before for 3 hours
Yes.
going across the steps, and
Yes.
I found it. It's
You
about
found
3/4 of the way up. It's just past the halfway mark.
Okay.
Slightly on the, if you're looking at the steps, slightly on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
You'll see it. Anyways, that's what I got on my collection. I have so much more to share, but listen, I thought this is like a good substitute because I wasn't prepared to talk about what I wanted to talk about.
Yes. That's coming. We'll see. We'll
We'll
see
see.
what the rest is. Yeah.
Stacy, we have a gentleman that I kind of have a man crush on this guy. I do. You'll say he's a very handsome guy. Okay, number one. I'm very
He is a handsome
heterosexual,
guy.
but he's very, very handsome guy. He had taken the Rocky tour a little while back. It was in the
Yes.
summertime, and we had a
Yes.
great time. And he had some really, really great stories. And I'm gonna let him get into all of
Yeah.
that.
You told me. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
these sound awesome. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I really love them. I really love them.
Yeah.
He's into boxing a lot. He's into bodybuilding, as you'll see. This
Mhm.
guy, I mean, he really is the epitome of like the perfectly built human.
Yeah.
So, but here's my problem, Stacy. You and I ran into a little speed bump today. We don't know how to pronounce his name correctly. His last name.
Guess what? I can see what he typed in because
Oh, really?
yes, and he typed in Ronnie Dale, Dale. You were right.
I was right.
Yes, because I thought it was Dalal because of his email.
Yeah,
and so I was
yeah.
like, is it Dalal or is it Dalal? And And then he's typed in Ronnie Dale, so we got it all clear.
Stacy, would you send one of our interns down the hallway to the green room? Would you bring
Yes.
in this beautiful human being, please?
Yes. Hang on. Here he is. Welcome, Ronnie. How
Hey,
are
I'm
you?
good.
So nice
I'm good.
to see you.
Mike, what's up?
Hello, my friend. It's
How are
so.
you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
Good.
Are you out? Where are you now? You're in Vegas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm out sitting out in my backyard, actually.
Oh.
How's the weather's got to be beautiful, right?
Hotter than fish grease.
Nice.
And then I have a black T-shirt on, and that's not helping.
And that
Yeah,
just draws
yeah.
the heat. I don't know what it is. 3/4 of my closet is black pants, black shirts. I don't know what it is. I have 2 red shirts, a blue and a yellow. I don't know what it is. And my wife always goofs on me. We go out to dinner, we go to a buffet, we go to a movie, and she's like, "You're always dressing for like a funeral." You would think I was like Johnny Cash's #1 fan, but I don't know. I like black.
Same thing with me. My truck is black.
Is it really?
Yeah, as a PE coach, I'm pretty much wearing black every day. Black shoes.
Wow.
My grandma, she wears black all the time.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Funny.
Oh, that's a trip. Listen, Ron, what is it? Let me ask you this. What is it about the character of Rocky that affected you profoundly? Why do you like Rocky? And what is your favorite Rocky?
The character, underdog always comes out on top.
The underdog, yes.
I love my dad was the one that actually got me hooked on it. Like, I think you were mentioning earlier that Rocky came out in 79. That was about right.
Yeah.
Yes,
the original
75.
Yeah, the original was 76, Rocky 2 79. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would sit out and I would watch them every day. It was He-Man and Rocky. That was it. And Transformers. And that was it.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean,
course.
and it got to the point where they started looking at me crazy because I could quote everybody's lines. I knew Paulie's, Rocky, Adrian. I knew everybody's lines. Even Mr. T's when Rocky 3. That one was the funny one though.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did that. Am I wrong, or did you and I reenact that on the tour?
Yeah.
We were talking. Don't give this up no statue. Give him
Gus. I told you I wasn't gonna wait. You got your shot. Now give me mine. And Nick was like, "Why don't you get the hell out of here? Shut up, old man. I ain't going nowhere. Why don't you tell all these nice folks how you been ducking me? It's politics, man. Oh yeah, I keep going.
Right? He has the tone and the inflection. I love that. Because that's what it is. When you watch Rocky so many times, you pick up the nuance. And as soon as you started doing Clubber Lang in the car on the tour, I was like, oh man, this guy loves
He's
the
gone.
character. He did. This is a guy like Ron is who I made the tour for. This is who I hope. I mean, the tour is for everyone. But if you're like a real serious Rocky fan, you see, and I think I may have shared this with you, Ron. I don't know, but I never had any. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up because I was an odd child. I was very strange, and so I never fit in. I was always a square peg round hole kind of guy. And when you don't have the internet, you can't reach out to people.
Right.
So when I saw Ron, I was like, "This is the guy after my own heart."
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, it was a blessing, Mike, to be on your tour. I would tell anybody that I knew, but back home and family friends that I know from other states. I have some family out in another country. If they ever had a chance to link up with you and go on the tour, I'm telling you, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go on it again,
I know. I'm trying to get you in. I'm just waiting. I have 2 unconfirmed, but they've already reserved, and I'm just waiting. They haven't sent money or down payment. And I said, listen, I guess somebody wants to take a tour, so you gotta let me know. So it's hang in there. I'm hoping to get you in. I am.
So how about this?
Go ahead.
Like, I'm getting chills, and it's like you barely can see the hair on my arms. How about this?
Right.
When last summer when we were heading out to Philly, what are the chances? This is the point of this. Is this trip was meant to be. This was God's, and even the fact that there's a possibility that I might be able to slide in one of those 2 slots, that is a blessing.
Yeah.
When we were leaving the airport, there was a Rocky 3 slot on headed, or like off to the side, headed onto the gate that we were going to. What are the chances that a Rocky nut like me would be passing on by through the gate, happen to look to the left and see a Rocky slot. I had to take a picture of it. It was crazy.
What is a Rocky slot? I don't even know what that is.
The slot machine. So they actually have a slot machine.
Right.
You can play poker or and it was Rocky 3.
I love that.
Yes.
I gotcha.
Yes. So you asked what was it about the character?
Yeah.
It's the underdog. And throughout my life, I have a lot of times felt like the underdog. And probably my favorite scene was Rocky 2. Like I love all the Rocky movies for a lot of different reasons, but Rocky 2, in the second round when he went down for the last time against Paulo, he went back to the corner. He told Mick, he said, "I ain't going down no more."
Yeah.
And I've been through that a lot of times, And the thing is even though you get back up, you get knocked down, you get back up, but you have your hands up and you keep fighting.
Yeah.
You keep fighting until you finally get your breakthrough. And actually, that one kind of led me into Rocky Balboa, because the year that movie had dropped, like I wish it would. Oh my God! If Sylvester Stallone happened to be watching this podcast right now, this would be if I just had like 15 seconds, I would thank him for making that movie, because that movie was the one that helped me through the death of my father.
Was it? That's right. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, he and I mean, I still have my bouts. It was 18 years ago, but it feels like 18 milliseconds ago. Yeah. But I've gotten a lot stronger I've become a lot stronger over the years in dealing with it. But when the movie dropped, it helped. It was the meat house scene before Paulie lost his job.
Yeah.
And he went there and he told him, he said that he was thinking about fighting, and then Mickey's messing with him, talking about, what do you think, you peaked?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
right.
Yeah, what do you peaked? He said, but there's something in the basement. And then then Paulie was like, tell me what's in the basement. And then he started to get emotional. He's talking about how it felt like there was this B side of him.
Yeah.
He said he didn't know that it was going to be so hard. You know what I mean? And I didn't know that it was going to be so hard living life, going through life without my dad. And he was the one that I would turn to. It's actually not good, but I would turn to him more than I would turn to God. And
really?
I was a little kid. You don't know any better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was Rocky and my dad was Mick.
Was your dad a Rocky fan?
Probably because of me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I never asked him.
Right.
I didn't care about watching a whole lot of things on TV, but I always watched Rocky. I got into wrestling for a little bit, and then boxing aside of basketball, that was my life. So I mean, I was watching Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, then Tyson.
Wow.
I was actually related to Mike Tyson through marriage, but I never knew him, so I don't like really,
Oh, that's kind of neat. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen him a couple of times. I actually asked him when was he going to knock out Lennox Lewis before they fought. Probably not.
No.
Didn't work out too well for him that night.
No, that's true. Listen, let me ask you this. This is not so much a Rocky question, but I do want to get your thoughts on this, because I'm in this particular instance, I don't think I cheered louder for Tyson. I cheered for Tyson when let it go in Tokyo. So I didn't work out for him either there.
No.
Look, just a few weeks ago, Mike Tyson was on an airplane. And Stacey, I don't even know if you're aware of that.
Oh, yes. I heard about this.
All right.
Yes.
So this guy had been harassing Tyson in the airport.
Yeah.
Then he sits right behind Mike Tyson. So if you've seen the video, you see Mike. Yeah, he does not suffer fools. He's just standing up. If you could take a step back as a human, when you're behind Mike Tyson, what
is going through your head?
Stacey, right? And Tyson he starts beating the crap out of this guy. I'm like, I didn't want Mike to stop because this guy was an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm pro Mike. Now, I think I heard there's a lawsuit going about it, and I think I don't know. I got to imagine I would say Tyson, he was annoyed by this guy, but I don't know. Ron, what do you think?
Well, I know that as a boxer, your hands have to be registered. They're considered as weapons. So I'm pretty sure that the angle that the person that deserve to get beat up.
Yeah.
I think that's the angle that they would actually use to try to get money from Mike.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I were to step back, if I was to be sitting behind Mike, I would have left him alone. I mean, I would have, you know, said hello.
Yeah.
It's just like, like even Floyd Mayweather. I used to run into Floyd Mayweather everywhere.
Yes, you did.
And
how did that happen? How'd you run into Floyd? This is an interesting story.
Well, you know, in your early 20s, there's not a whole lot of places to go to, you know, out here in Vegas, not unless you're going to go to the clubs. And I didn't care too much for the clubs.
Yeah.
So I would, every once in a while, I would go, you know, go to the mall. I'm a shoe freak, so I like to buy shoes. And I would just kind of window shop. And then you would always know that he was there because people would start walking really fast. So I'm not a fanboy or anything like that at all. So I would see him, and you know, and I'd be like, hey, what's up, Floyd? You know, and you know, whether he I didn't ever expect for him to remember my name at all. But we would run into each other all the time, whether it be the mall, whether it would be the gym. I used to work out at 24-hour fitness. And then one day, for whatever reason, I don't know why he actually was open to carrying a conversation with me. But at that point, that's when I found out that Floyd is not the jerk that a lot of people try to say that he is or try to make him out. It's just, you know, the persona to sell tickets.
Yeah.
He's actually a really cool human being. And we sat, and from that day forward, we've always been cool. Always been cool. Nice. Now, I couldn't get on the phone with him and be like, hey, Floyd, you know, blah, 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 blah. He probably wouldn't, you know, he probably wouldn't remember me. I mean, he'll know me by face for sure. He doesn't forget a face, but, you know, by name, phone number, all that, no. But that's, and then, and my stepdad, they, you know, would work or try to set up fights and, you know, kind of work together in the boxing world. And you know, Vegas being as small as it is, you know one person and find out that they know someone else, and it's just like this small world kind of thing. So I don't think that he realized that my stepdad and I were related, that I was his son.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So one day my stepdad and I, we go to the gym to watch him train. It was for when he was training Victor Ortiz.
Okay.
And we, you know, most people, they're not allowed to go up in there, you know, because they always want to, you know, try to record and do stuff they're not supposed to. Well, in short, he allowed us in, and he reached over the ring and he gave me a dap. Yeah, nice. It was cool. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think, and all of this is to say, in short, the reason why I won't be a fanboy to anyone is because celebrities, I am convinced of this, celebrities just want to be treated like a regular human being. Right. And if they are with their family, leave them alone. Don't ask for autographs. Don't ask for pictures. Just respect them. If it's meant to be, you guys, you know, pass cross again, and then maybe they're not with their family, then you can go and ask. But I always try to, you know, treat them with respect and treat them like a regular human being, and leave them alone. And here we are.
Yeah.
That is so true, because I remember several incidences on the set of Balboa and Creed. Guys, grown men, they like the size of lumberjacks. They're like just massive individuals. They were like reduced to tears. Oh man, Sly, oh my god. They're jumping around, and all of a sudden, like, security comes out of nowhere. It's like, I don't know if Sly has this code with them, but like he does 2 blinks and then the security comes out.
Right.
But what you're saying, they are just humans who wake up every morning with messy hair, bad breath. They got to go to the bathroom. Okay, he's Rocky and Rambo, but he's still just a guy. He's a dad who he can be moody. He can have highs and lows. So I tried very hard always to take exactly your approach. And I think this is a good thing. I'm really glad you said that, Ron, because I think fans who hear this, when they do run into Sly, they'll do the same thing. Like, instead of being nuts and like, oh man, sign my arm, and then right to the tattoo, and then get the slice, and just be cool. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I understand that's easier said than done.
Yeah,
it is. And to that same point, I haven't had the fortunate experience yet to actually have a conversation with Sly like you have, Mike.
Yeah.
But my stepdad, and this kind of goes back to the underdog part that I was telling you about, is you know, I counted a blessing, even though that my biological dad had passed away, that I have my stepdad in my life. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people grow up with both of their parents. Right. Okay. And that he's a part of my life, even still today, it's a blessing. I feel, as far as having a father, that is something that I've overcome. And then,
really?
The insight that he has, my stepdad is crazy patient, and I'm a prankster, so I'd be watching Rocky 3, and he'll if he watches this, he'll probably be, why would you tell this story? But I'm gonna say it anyway.
Sure.
So I would be watching Rocky 3 in his room. He'll be sitting in the bed reading a newspaper in the dark. Never made any sense to me, but it bugged me enough to the point that my cousins taught me how to flick. He said, take your middle finger, you wrap it around. Oh, I'm out of the camera. You wrap it around your thumb like this.
Yeah.
And when you flick, you can pop somebody really good. So
really hard, yes.
Yeah. So I would flick the newspaper while he was reading it, watching Rocky 3. Yeah. But here's why I mentioned this. Again, the blessing that he is to my life.
Yeah.
He got tickets for Rocky Balboa. So I was actually an extra in the fight scene when he was fighting Tarver. I promise you, I was probably about 6 to 7 feet away from him. All I wanted him to do was just to turn around so I could ask if I could take a picture with him. That's the closest that I've been to Sly.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
Yes. I mean, I was there when they opened up the Planet Hollywood. Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that the closest was when I was actually in the film.
What do you think? And what goes through your mind at that moment?
I didn't want to be a fanboy. I was just like, oh my God, is my dream getting ready to come true here? It was just like when the whole trip to Philly is nostalgic for me. And if you remember when we were heading over to the steps.
Yeah.
You, my wife, and my kids thought I was gonna start crying, but I was shocked.
You got emotional. You really did. I saw it on your face. There are very few things because I see a lot of people every day, every month, every year. But Ronnie, you're a guy who stands out to me. We had the great conversation, and your family was so sweet, and your wife is such a lovely woman.
Yeah,
but
she's amazing.
Sometimes people's faces when they pull up at the Rocky Steps, it's something incredible. Also, the other moment, I don't know if I mentioned this already. I may have. I saw your face as we walked around the corner, and we're standing across the street looking up at Mighty Mick's gym. There was something on your face.
My God.
You were like a little boy on Christmas morning.
Yeah. That's what my uncle said.
Yeah, you really were. You were taken back to when you had first seen it, and I saw that, and that's the type of stuff I could only have dreamed that would happen on the tour. Here's something I don't think I asked you. If I did, I forget it. I apologize. When you went up those steps, what goes through your mind for the first time?
Man. We did it, Dad. We did it.
Oh, see? Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know, right? It's very emotional. It pulls at you. It's just, and I just can't help but think your dad be so damn proud of you. I really do. I really. Yeah. So, have you told us what? Maybe I missed it. Stacey, did Ronnie tell us what his favorite Rocky was, or did I blank out?
Well, you mentioned Rocky 2. I don't know if that's you. You mentioned a scene from Rocky 2, but if you had to pick one Rocky movie that's your all-time favorite, what would that be?
Okay. Well, since my dad got me crazy on Rocky movies, I'd have to say Rocky 4. Why? Because Rocky 4 is my daughter's favorite Rocky movie. In fact, So if my dad got me stuck on it, I have my daughter stuck on Rocky. And Rocky 4 is the one that we sit down and watch all the time. She could be on the phone talking to a friend. She has this boyfriend kind of thing.
I could see your inner Clubber Lang coming out.
My God.
Clubber Lang taking those big roundhouse blows at his head.
I pity the fool.
I pity the fool who dates my daughter.
To date my daughter. Yeah, but she could be talking to him on the phone, and she hears Rocky 4. Right. She will get off the phone with him, and she'll watch the movie with me.
Aww.
So I'd have to say that Rocky 4 would probably be my favorite because she and I can sit down and we can watch the movie together. And as a matter of fact, how about this? I'm going to show you guys this.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, my daughter drew this.
Did she really?
She's a sophomore in high school. She drew this.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Yes.
Ronnie,
That's
you
pretty
need
good.
to post that. Yeah.
Yes. Sly is into art and what have you.
Oh yeah.
I have an artist, and thank you, thank you, Sly. My daughter's into art like that too.
Oh.
What did she use to do that? Was that pen and ink? Was that
is that charcoal?
Paint, charcoal? What was that?
It looks like it's charcoal.
Okay.
It looks all of it is charcoal.
Hold it back
and
up.
then,
oh man, that was amazing.
Oh wow.
Look at that. Jesus.
Yes,
that is
oh,
beautiful.
she nailed it.
Yes. Yeah.
What's her name? What's your daughter's name?
Her name is Keena.
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 So nice.
Keena, well done.
Very
well
nice.
done, young lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So
Ronnie, you have this. You have a story that I loved.
Yeah,
I really did. I've tried to do it justice. I've tried to repeat the story on tours, and I failed miserably. I abandoned it because I can't do it like you do. For those of you who don't know, Rocky lost his locker in the original Rocky to Dipper, who was a contender. You know what you are? You're a tomato.
Yeah.
so Rocky and Dipper do not get along, and there was a whole backstory, and we never saw the footage on that. Anyways, you, Ronnie, have a great Dipper story. And for those of you who don't know, I'm going to shut up in a second. The actor who played Dipper was Stan Shaw. Stan Shaw is an incredibly accomplished actor. He was great as Dipper. He was great in Daylight. He is the cop that gets drowned with the broken neck in Daylight. Ronnie, tell us your Dipper Stan Shaw story.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't remember exactly the time of day, but I know that it was in the morning time. Myself and my sisters, we were all going over to my grandma's house. We're knocking on the door. We're waiting for her to say, who is it? So instead of my grandma opening the door to see who it was, Stan Shaw must have been looking through the peephole and just opened the door. And so he opens the door, and I'm like, hey, you're not my grandmother. You know, what are you opening my grandmother's door for? So then he introduces himself as Shaw, and I'm like, you're not Stan Shaw. You're the Dipper from Rocky 2. Excuse me, Rocky 1. You're the Dipper. Yeah, and that was it. It just kind of had me perplexed a little bit. You know what I mean?
Why was he
it was crazy.
Why was he there? That's the thing.
Okay, so I'm not sure how it actually happened.
How old are you at this point?
Probably like 6, maybe 7, 6.
It's Stan Shaw.
That's how much into the movies I was. But so he was dating my aunt. He was dating my aunt.
Oh my
dating your aunt.
So I don't know if he had flown in town or what it was, but
right.
We were going over to hang out, and then he just opens the door, and I'm Stan Shaw. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're the Dipper.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dipper.
Mm-hmm.
Dipper needs it. He's a contender. You know what you are?
Hey, Rock, I stole your locker.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And the thing about it is when I seen him, I was mad for Rocky because he took his locker.
He took his locker because you're 6 years old. You think the literalness of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was weird because you remember when he opens his locker, it was a picture of a woman, but she looked like a man. So that was confusing. Remember, as a 6-year-old, that's confusing. You know, and you see all kind of weird stuff in his locker.
She was a handsome woman.
Yeah, man. But it was funny is that's I after as I got older, I kind of understood what I was looking at.
Right.
But also, it was just like probably one of my. This might be a question that you might want to pose someone. Another guest sometime is what would be your funniest? What is one of Rocky's funniest lines to you?
Yeah, sure.
And then Great question. Okay, so I'll take you back. Rocky 2. Rocky and Adrian, they just got married.
Yeah.
Tony goes to Rocky and he's like, hey, you're right. How much money did you make off your first fight? Rocky goes, about 37 grand. So then he says, what do you think about investing? What do you want to do with the money? Put it back out in the streets? And then he starts telling them, about investing in this and that.
Yes.
He says, how about investing in condominiums?
Condominiums.
And Rocky leans over to him. I never use them. I didn't
Isn't
get
that
that
great?
at 6, 7 years old.
Right.
Like,
Why
wow,
would
this
you?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. You're just a kid. Yeah.
But I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Mhm.
That is funny. I love that.
Yeah.
Seriously, that really, the thing about Rocky is so quotable. It's
Mhm.
right up there with like Midnight Run. If you ever saw Midnight Run with Charles Grodin, De Niro,
Mhm.
Midnight Run is a very quotable movie, and
Okay.
so are the Rockies. There's just a lot of things you could just apply to, I think, everyday daily use, and it's I don't know, it's just one of the 12 or 13 trillion reasons why I love this movie. Ron, let me ask you this.
Sure.
I got just one or two more things I want to excuse me, slip by you here before I turn it over to Stacy and we let you go. What did you think of Rocky IV, the director's cut?
Mm.
And be honest. Feel free to be honest. There's no wrong answer here.
Well, I thought it was cool that I saw you sitting in the front row.
Yes.
Oh, you saw that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Sly did invite me and my wife as his personal guest. That is a humbling, bragging experience. It is. I don't brag about it. I'm just humbled by it. Someday I'll brag. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, that was really cool. But what did I think about it? I think I enjoyed the original one more.
Okay.
I appreciate. I had an appreciation for the editor's cut because you did get a chance to see a little bit more of Apollo's side before he ended up dying. You did actually get a chance to see a little bit more of the conversation that he and Rocky had about him going to fight the Russian. And then when he's actually in the fight, you don't just see him dancing around the ring, shooting shots, and then all of a sudden then Drago comes in with this big sledgehammer and he's dead. But you actually see him get up and try to fight. And that was the part, that part when he got back up and tried to fight, even though he ended up getting, that part I liked or I appreciated, but I think I kind of appreciated a little bit more the original. And it's probably just because I watched it a gazillion times.
No, I think, you know what, Ronnie, that's a fair assessment. And I think Sly, he would say, yeah, I get it, because all of us have seen the original Rocky IV, I don't know how many hundreds of times. So that's ingrained in our, oh my God, they're attacking you.
Here I am.
The killer bees are back. So, but I think Sly would understand that. I really do. I think you nailed it. With Apollo, we got to see more of Apollo talking with Rocky. We did. I love that backyard scene where they're tossing the football, whatever. And the angst on Apollo's face. We could really see that. And then Apollo is this great warrior. We meet Apollo in Rocky, where he is supposedly at the peak of his career, and Rocky goes the distance, and he doesn't win. Then in the same year, he fights him January 1st, 1976. Then he fights him at Thanksgiving in 1976, and of course, time has caught up with Apollo, and he beats him. But what about the Apollo before that? Apollo was lightning fast, hard to catch.
Hard to get. No playing, no driving.
Exactly. I don't sweat you. And so exactly. That's so where is that Apollo Creed? So we see a little more of that before he gets massacred by steroid Drago. So I really love that Sly did that. That was something that was really special, and I'm glad you picked that up.
I also like the fact that you got to see a little bit more of Adrian's personality. She doesn't really say too much throughout the whole series. I mean, except for Rocky III, and they had Rocky III. Yeah, and then she had a little bit. I actually, with Adrian's part, when they were talking in the kitchen, I thought that kind of brought it a little full circle, because they're sitting down at the dining room table, and then she asked the question. She says, how much more can either of you take? And then she says, I'm sorry, I just care about you both. She gets up and goes into the kitchen. She's obviously upset. So anybody that was really paying attention to the scene, wonder what Adrian, what is she doing? How's she processing this now? Because she
Right.
knows that Rocky's going to end up fighting.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They
yeah.
spar, they obviously spar quite a bit outside the ring. You know what I mean? So yeah, so you get to see her, you get to see a little bit of her personality or character more, and I thought that was cool too.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with the Adrian factor. I talk with
Hmm.
Stacy about this all the time.
Hmm.
Okay, Adrian she doesn't have like the big speech. It ain't about a hard you hit. She doesn't have the
Mhm.
speech
Right.
like
Mhm.
Rocky has, but she is the key. Like
Yes.
Rocky can't train in Rocky 2 because
Yeah.
she's not behind him.
Right.
Not
Right.
until she comes out of the coma and she says
Right.
win. That's
Win.
the key. So
Mhm.
yeah, he does the
Yeah.
rest. He does all the heavy lifting,
Absolutely.
but he
Yep.
can't do the heavy lifting until she's okay with it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that is so spot on with
Yeah.
life. A lot of marriages are like that. And let's just go the whole big world. Let's just go man, wife, go, like husband, wife,
Yeah.
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
spouse, whoever your
Yes.
partner is.
Yeah.
If they're not cool with what you're
Mhm.
doing,
Mhm.
Hmm.
odds are you're not going to be as successful as you could be as if
Right.
they were bought into it. And
Right.
Right.
that's what I always believe. And that's why I love
I
the
agree.
character of Adrian so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even if you remember in Rocky 4, like Rocky was in the bed with his son,
Yeah.
and he had told him it was this part I can't quote verbatim, but the point of it is that sometimes you have to do what you have to do, even if others won't agree with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes in marriage, you're like, you might be your own man or your own woman on your own island. Sometimes you
Yeah.
have to do what you have to do, right? So Rocky, he goes to Russia, he's training, and then Adrian shows up, and then she's like, I'm with you no matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes
Yeah.
you have to take that step too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even
You
though
do.
you're,
Fair enough.
you know,
Yeah.
But it makes
so
it so much easier when everybody's on the same page.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
God.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh
Yeah.
man. I'm telling
Who
you, it really, really
who
does.
wants to have a root canal type marriage?
No.
It's
No.
never fun.
No.
It's never fun.
No, not at
There's not
all.
enough Novocaine to make the pain go away.
Not enough. No. Great analogy. Stacy,
Yes.
before we let
Yes.
Ronnie get out of here, I got one more question I'm going to ask him, but
Mhm.
what do
Mhm.
you got? You got anything at all that we missed so far?
Yeah. Well, the father-son piece is so important,
Yes.
in the Rocky series, and just listening
Yes.
to you talk about your dad and your
Yeah.
stepdad, and
Yeah.
and then you're passing it along. I mean, family is a big deal to Sly
Hmm.
personally, to Rocky personally, and
Hmm.
you emulate that. You have that similarity. And so my question for you is, what's your favorite of all the Rocky Robert scenes? What is your favorite Rocky Robert scene that rings with you, that resonates with you most?
Man, that one would kind of be a tough one. You know what? It'll be the one right in front of Adrian's,
Yeah. In
because
Oh,
Balboa.
because
Yeah.
yeah, because Robert he's his own man, but he's dealing with his own insecurities. He's dealing
Yes.
with his own person, who he is,
Mhm.
yeah.
and
Mhm.
he has some perceptions. He has some perceptions about life that aren't right, and
Mhm.
even the way that he
Mhm.
views himself. And then
Yes.
Rocky had to let him know, like, you're a winner. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
That this is,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
goes through the process of telling him this is how winning is done, and the way
Yeah.
that he was thinking, it's not you.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying
That's
that,
true.
like, there, even though my dad had died 18 years ago,
Mhm.
there was moments where my dad would tell me things that I didn't want to hear or I didn't like
Yeah.
necessarily, but it was
Mhm.
things that I needed to be told.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then here I am today. So
Yeah.
it would definitely be that one. I mean, I like the
Okay.
home team when, when he was smoking a
Sure.
cigarette
Oh,
in 2005,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
and he had the earring. The Probably the one I'd have to add this one, just because the both of them ran up the steps
Sure.
together. And earlier in our interview, I was saying that when I went up there by myself, Mike, you asked me what was your thought. I'm like, we made it,
Yeah.
Dad.
We
Yeah,
Yeah.
made
I
it.
always wanted us to go up the steps together.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Oh,
at
that's
least
Yeah.
hey,
beautiful.
but the blessing is I got to go up the steps with my son and my daughter and my wife. So
See?
See, Now that's amazing because your kids are always going to have that. That can never be taken away if they got that memory. And, in 100 years when you're gone and they're with their kids, they're going to say, we were here with dad and your granddad and Rocky was this driving force in his life. And so we're passing that on. And that's what it is. It passes the baton. That's the beauty and the brilliance of this simple, broken down fighter that we all just buy into because of the whole circumference. I love it.
Yes, for sure.
I love it. All right. So I'm going to get you out of here, but I got one last question, and I probably have an idea what it is.
Okay.
Ronnie, I ask everybody, if you had 30 seconds in an elevator with Sylvester Stallone, you go from floor to floor, some crazy set of circumstances, you're in this elevator. It's just you and him.
Okay.
What do you say to him?
I would thank him for making Rocky Balboa.
Really?
I would thank him for making Rocky Balboa because that movie helped keep me strong when I felt I hit rock bottom.
Oh, I love that.
So when my wife and I got married, they say things happen in threes.
Yeah.
So we got married. The same year that we got married, 7 months later, my dad died. 3 days later, we found out that my wife was pregnant with my son.
Wow.
So I had to push through what the heartache and just everything that I was going through. I needed to be here for my wife and my son. So I would thank him for making that movie because it helped me. The meat house room. That was huge. I love the part where when they went on the tour and they were at the ice rink, and that's why I like the T-shirt from was it North 3rd Street? He said, she asked, why do you fight? Because I can't sing or dance.
Oh, yeah. Front Street Gym. Right.
But you remember he said that the first time that I touched her arm, I felt electric.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That was me and my dad. Sometimes I could just look at him and I'd be like, I'd be blown away. He was 6'4", I'm 6'2". He's a $197. I'm 250 or 210 now, 212. You know what I mean? But I would admire him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So I got one thing for you too, Mike. But
go ahead.
Well, no, I want to finish answer your question.
Oh, yeah.
I want to thank you for something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So go for it.
I just wanted to ask you what your dad's name. What was your dad's first name?
Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm a junior, and that's why it's not Dalel. It was just capital I. It's supposed to be a space, but it was for the second. So
for the second, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now it makes sense. The great mystery.
I want to make sure I clear that up.
I really was leaning towards Dale. I was. I said, okay. I said, I think I understand this, but listen, I mispronounced Smith. Okay, so I never. I know one thing, Ronnie. I hate to do because everyone pronounces my last name wrong.
Right.
Even Sly pronounced my name wrong. Right.
Wow.
Kunda, Mike Kunda from Philly. Okay, you think I'm going to correct Sly? No.
Right.
No.
Thank you. No, I'm not. But it's Kunda. Kunda. And it's like I don't know.
James Brown.
Yeah, James Brown, exactly. Papa's got a new bag. So, anyways, that's
America.
That's perfect. That's a good way to remember.
Celebration.
I love that. And he always had the Cape Wrangler where he placed the cape over him and then he bowed down and he would do a split. I mean, that's just crazy stuff, man. If I did a split, I would not be feeling good. I would be at the hospital. Okay. I'll be like, oh my God. Yes. I've lost a few things. Anyways, right. Anything else you want to say, Ronnie, before we go? We're going to let you get out of here. I know you got your family to get back to.
I just wanted to thank you for being there. Because there was one time that I was having a moment for missing my dad. You probably don't remember it, but I do. And you were there for me, and you didn't necessarily use a Rocky line, but not that you had to, but you encouraged me to keep pushing, and you gave me some affirmations about me being an awesome man and being a strong man, not just physically, but also in the mind. And you had told me that if my dad was here, that he would be proud of me. you started, you were the first person that had said that, and then there's been a string of other men that I know that are part of my life, like my Uncle Sam. Man, good guy right there.
Good guy, yeah.
Yes. He reminds me a lot of my dad. Sometimes he'll tell me stuff I don't want to hear too, but nonetheless, you were the first one that started it. There's been maybe like 3 or 4 other guys that have told me these things that I must have needed to be told, and I just wanted to thank you, and I wanted anybody that happens to view it to know that Mike is a really good guy. And he said, and he was saying, he mentioned about how he was as a kid, and he didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have a lot of friends either, but I didn't want a lot of friends, to be honest with you.
Right.
And if I grew up in Philly, I promise around when you were a little boy, you and we would be bros.
I think so. Ronnie, I do, because you know what, Stacey? Here's the weird thing about these tours. I meet a lot of lovely, wonderful people, but not every single person I can connect with. Because it's just the way life is. Ronnie is a guy, and Stacey, you know this, and Ronnie, I know in via Instagram messages, you know about this as well.
Yes,
you had changed your Instagram name.
Yes.
So okay. So I lost, and you had sent me a message saying you had done so. I lost it. I don't know what happened. I panicked. I went to Stacey and I said, Stacey, I have this guy on my tour, and his name is Ronnie Dale. This guy is one of the best guys. We've got to get him on the show. Wow. He has such heart and determination. He's such a force of nature. And I'm like, and she goes, great, send me his info. And I go, I don't have the info. I lost it. And so Ronnie, Sue, Stacey and Freudian slip. Stacey and I have been going back and forth trying to find who you were on Instagram. And we contacted other Ronnie Dales. Right. They were like, what you talking about? Right. Then you reach back out again. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yes.
I remember sending, I go, Stacey, I found Ronnie. He reached back out to me. Call him, email him, text him. I want him on the show. Ronnie, I would have had you on this show way sooner.
Yeah.
So I apologize for that. You were one of my favorite guests on my tour, and no doubt you're going to be one of my favorite guests on here. Right? I love you, brother. I just think
love you too, man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
Seriously,
that.
I do.
Seriously. I
do. You, as I said, I didn't want to have. I don't like having a huge circle. I like to keep it small.
I understand.
Every time we go to Philly, man, even if it's not on a tour, I hope that there's an opportunity where we'll be able to connect. But at least we have the the podcast, Instagram and what have you. Yeah. But you're one of my bros, man.
I appreciate that.
It's you're a very special person. I don't think we always have to know people for several years on end for you guys to have a connection like that.
Right.
You're a phenomenal,
I agree.
man.
I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Do. Stacey, I think we should end this because I'm like flying. I feel really good.
I know.
So I think I'm going to run out and play the lottery. I feel very good today. Listen.
Well, it's an honor. It's definitely an honor on my part. I'm telling you, like I would have never, and I got to share this one last thing.
Sure,
too,
please go ahead.
I never imagined that I would actually be in Philly. Like it was always like a dream come true.
Yeah, sure.
How about this? We had touched on marriage. When last year when my wife and I were planning the trip. Oh yeah, here's my Rocky shirt. How about that?
I love it.
Notice. Very nice.
Right
I love it.
The steps.
Of course. Nice.
All of the steps.
So we were staying, I forget the name. I think it's called the Hampton Inn. It's not very far from where the steps is, from the museum.
Yep. It's pretty close.
Yes. We arrived. I had, when we were making the trip or planning the trip, she and I hadn't communicated, but I wanted you to be the one that took us on the tour.
Oh, really?
Yes. I had told you about how the trip was meant to be, and with the whole Rocky slot.
Sure.
Okay. I saw you pull up. I happened to be downstairs, and I happened to see you pull up, and I saw the van, and my mouth dropped. I was like, he's the one that I wanted to. We hadn't communicated. She just went ahead and made the arrangement. Paid,
that's
blah,
great.
blah, blah. Yeah, and then you pulled up, and I was like, wow. That's why the first thing when I got in your bed, I was like, wow.
I saw it on your face.
Yeah.
I did. I saw it on your face. And that's how I knew, because it was an afternoon tour. I had a morning tour. You were my afternoon tour. And I said, when you came out, I saw and I got to tell you, your wife was almost as excited as you were. Yeah. She was really vocal. Ronnie was Stacy. Ronnie was a little quiet at first. Yeah. And I've gotten pretty good. I kind of know he was quiet because he was fired up and excited. Yeah,
like
he saw me and I showed
it in.
And so he was like, okay. I saw that he had a lot of confidence in me. Yeah. And when I saw that, I said, okay, let's go to Rocky Land. Yeah. You are my guy for the next 3 hours. Yes. I want to wow you as best I could. And he was just the perfect recipient for the Rocky tour. He was.
It was. Did they please tell me that they didn't put the brick back in the wall?
They did. And it's horrible. Horrible what they did. It's like someone went into a spackle bucket of concrete. They slammed it in that opus, and then they took a spackle and they just spread it out, and it's lumpy. It's horrible. It's horrible. But the missing brick has been filled in. Probably if your tour was in June, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I think by November it was filled in. Because the gym just got bought and they're going to put in apartments and a retail shop on the first floor. And that's okay because the building is staying. They're not knocking it down. So
that's true.
They could paint it. They could change it up a little bit. I understand that. The building is staying, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Good.
The important thing.
That and the fire hydrant.
right across from where the pet shop was. Yeah. Oh, totally, still there. And if they ever take the fire hydrant out, I swear to God, I'm going to throw it in the back of my truck.
That's right.
Yeah, you would. You'll put it in your room.
I know. Would that not be awesome right here? I don't know how many.
Actually.
Yeah, there's a big fentanyl epidemic going on up there, so I'm sure a lot of humans have urinated on this fire hydrant. But I would clean it up and put it here in my Rocky room.
Douse it with hand sanitizer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ronnie, this has been one of my favorite interviews. Thank you, sir.
So much.
Thank you.
Much love. It was definitely an honor.
Thank you, Ronnie.
So
Stacy, I told you this guy was going to knock it out of the ballpark, and he did.
And you did, yeah. We were just happy to find you because he was very upset. He's like, we got to find him. We got to get him. It's been months. So whenever you reached back out, we were like, oh, thank God. So you were.
I have been waiting. I wanted to do this. The minute that I got back, you know what I mean. But it takes time, and you guys.
Takes time, yeah.
I get it. Yeah. So. It happened when it was supposed to happen.
That's true. I like the way you see that.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Ronnie, thank you so much. We're gonna go. Stacy's got a wait. Who's that? Stacy, did you hear that? Wait, who's this? Is this someone? Stacy, the movers are here.
Truck.
It's your moving truck. Ronnie, we gotta go. Stacy's gotta go answer the door and move. Thank you, my friend.
My pleasure. You have a good one.
Punching.
Keep punching.
Thanks, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
God, this is the hardest thing about this is like there's just people that have such a warmth about them.
Yep.
And I can't go give him a hug or just this is the hardest part because he has such he's so sweet. He's so
Do you understand
nice.
why I have a man crush on this guy? Okay. Ronnie was one of the kindest, nicest people. Yes. He was just a good guy. I know. He's the best. I love this guy.
Yeah, that's the best thing. Rocky humans are better.
Yeah,
than every other human.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right.
They're better than everyone. They have a sensitivity, a kindness, a compassion, and everyone, we all kind of view the world the same way and interpret the world the same way. And he has that Rocky head like the rest of us. And
I got to tell you, Stacey, I've met some Jason Bourne fans. They're nowhere near as cool as Rocky fans.
No.
I'm telling you. I'm
not even.
He was a great guy. And, Ronnie, listen, thank you again, Ronnie.
Yeah.
We just love you, brother. Thank you for making some time today and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Fantastic guy. Great guy. Oh, I have to go.
Stacy, you got to go take care of these guys.
I got to go move to Tennessee, folks.
Stacy, before we go, is there anything you want to mention? You want to say anything?
Okay. I'm Had Me at Yo, and I may over these next couple weeks, because we are relocating to Tennessee, which is 1,200 miles from where I am now. If I seem like I fell off a cliff, I am stuck inside of a moving truck or a box or in bubble wrap or something like that. But anyway, I'm Had Me at Yo, and of course on the Rocky Files. And beautiful. Michael, where can people find you?
The Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour on Instagram and on TikTok. It is TICKTOK, TikTok Rocky, because somebody else took TikTok Rocky, the normal spelling of TikTok, and so I got. Wait a minute, I'm not done. It's TikTok Rocky on TikTok, and they're very cruel to me. And I don't know, Stacey. We got to go. These guys are pounding. Oh, Jesus, there. Okay, yeah. Stacey. Good luck with the move.
Thank you.
See you when you got back. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Keep punching.
Keep punching.